Seems like things have calmed down, but certainly earlier they were super tense. About the middle of the debate, we were getting word that those post-debate press conferences could have been canceled. And then immediately following it, Michel Cormier, who's the executive director of the Leaders Debate Commission, did go before reporters to say that, yes, in fact, they would not be able to hold them, saying that they didn't feel they could actually properly guarantee a secure environment. And then following that, we were outside here when we saw a number of members of the media who were following some of these leaders around the country. They were being followed by some of these right-wing media outlets who did the previous night monopolize some of the questions from the leaders debate at those press conferences from the French language leaders debate, and it started to get testy and physical as well. That is why Montreal police were here, because they were concerned about that type of security breach, and that is what had happened. Right now, Omar, everything seems to be calmed down, and it seems like everybody is now focused on that debate.
All right, and turning to that debate, the substance of it, Mike, walk us through some of the more memorable exchanges.
Yeah, it was interesting because you played some of those exchanges, but I think a lot of people were expecting the two frontrunners to really go head-to-head here. Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservatives, and Mark Carney, the leader of the Liberal Party, and they didn't disappoint. We knew that Mark Carney was going to be the focus of a lot of attacks, and he was. Have a listen to some of those exchanges.
Well, I know it may be difficult, Mr. Poilievre. You spent years running against Justin Trudeau on the carbon tax, and they're both gone. Okay, they're both gone, and we're in a new
impersonation of them with the same policies tonight.
Very different. Look, I'm a very different person from Justin Trudeau.
It was certainly a lot more feisty than it was yesterday in French. You can understand why, Omar, because, of course, that is not the mother tongue of 3 out of the 4 leaders on that stage. But, of course, as you heard in that clip, and as we've heard during the campaign, Pierre Poilievre trying to tie Mark Carney to the previous Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, and he did it again right here.
Now, in retrospect, that you look back on the Liberal decisions that you advised Justin Trudeau to take, will you look at the camera in the eye and apologize to the many people who suffered as a result of the inflationary policies that you advised Justin Trudeau to implement?
You know, I said earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I know you want to be running against Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau isn't here.
Are you denying you were his economic advisor?
I did not provide any of that advice.
So now, Mike, after these two back-to-back debates, what we saw yesterday in French and today in English, in your view, is there a standout, a clear winner?
Yeah, I think the fact that Mark Carney was certainly a lot feistier tonight, that certainly stood out for me. And I think the fact that Pierre Poilievre was trying to effectively make his case for him to be Prime Minister, that stood out as well. And including the fact that Jagmeet Singh was taking a lot bigger swings than I think we've ever seen him take on a debate stage before. And I think that we'll see now going forward whether or not they'll continue those types of conversations as we continue on the rest of this campaign.